the Preflight for basic instrument flight. So the aim of this Preflight is to understand techniques used to fly the airplane accurately by use of the flight instruments without external visual reference. So it's one of the first flights where you'll be flying about approximately 1 hour airplane flight time on just the instruments only. The motivation behind today's lesson: so if you're ever in a scenario where in your non-VMC flight, you use the techniques and procedures in this brief to safely exit as well, but it does not give you the tools to fly in IMC conditions. So the aeroplane, so let's say for this pre-flight we're in the registration Alpha Bravo Charlie type, it is a PA-28 Warrior. Fuel, so we've got let's say 130 litres on board. Oil, we've got 6 quarts, so minimum 6, maximum 8. Flight time will be 1.5 hours, so a little bit longer. Information, we've got information Foxtrot, and you'll check the relevant notes as well. So everything from radios to departure will be done by you. You're getting to a stage where you're almost going for uphill pre-license and recreational pilot license flight test, so it's good practice as well. Training, so I'll demonstrate, or it'll be mostly you flying and me directing through the sequences. But if there's something I'll demonstrate, I will give controls, and the arrival shutdown will be done by you as well. So in terms of the instruments, so the pilot 6-pack. So one of the threats in this lesson is the threat of illusions, and the aircraft will be relying on physical indications, and the undesired aircraft state will be disorientation. So the management technique would be simply trust your instruments so that you don't have that undesired aircraft state and disorientation. It takes a while to develop the habit, but you must trust the instruments. So you've got your indicated airspeed over here, your artificial horizon in the middle. That's extremely important. There's a reason why it's a central instrument. We've got your altimeter over here, your vertical speed indicator, your directional indicator, and then you've got your turn to sit coordinator. So gyroscopic instruments are the DI, the artificial horizon, and turn to sit coordinator, and the pedostatic instruments are the ASI, altimeter, and VSI. And your RPM, remember, that's your control instrument, and your artificial horizon and your performance are the rest of the 5 out instruments. So it's really important. If you want to change something in flight, you use the control instruments, and then you check that with the performance instruments. Don't chase the figures. So you must, and it's really important you pay attention to your artificial horizon. Don't look away from it for more than 3 seconds. So types of scans, so we've got T-scan, which we use for straight level flight. We've got your radial scan, you'll use for climbs, descents, turns, where you're doing in circular sort of, you look scanning in a circular sort of motion, and then you've got your V scan, your secondary V scan. You can use, if there's an instrument failure as a backup, or even for a descent or turn. So in terms of application of power versus attitude performance, set the power, set the attitude, and you will get the desired performance using control instruments. So taxi check, so make sure you check all your instruments thoroughly. So checking your turns coordinator is balanced opposite direction to the turn. So if it's turning towards the left, if we are towards the right, making sure your numbers are decreasing in terms of your DI and your compass. Your artificial horizon is level and set. You've got the correct QNH. So straight level, you've got the T-scan. Climbing, descending, you're using your radial scan. It will be done best rate, descents, unless otherwise advised, will be done at cruise descent. Doing all turns, and the beef will be done at rate 1 turn. So you'll see in your turn sit coordinator, which is at 3 degrees per second. And then you'll look at the climbing, descending turns. So you set the climb or descent, and then you'll turn the airplane at rate 1, and recovery from unusual altitude, so spiral dive recovery. So using 3-step procedure, so if you've got a high nose attitude and a turn, you're going to simultaneously lower the nose, apply full power, and then wings level. And if you're in low nose attitude and you turn, you'll throttle idle, wings level, and smoothly apply back pressure, gently, no abrupt inputs to a straight level attitude. And we've got the threat of motion sickness, the aircraft relying on physical cues, and desired aircraft that we take back as required, and the undesired aircraft that is pilot incapacitation. So let your instructor know, take breaks, and if you're not well, let them know, and they can fly it for a bit or take you back to base. Knowledge base, so primary instrument checking the unusual attitude is artificial horizon, so that's really important. You haven't got much time to react, so by checking this instrument you can appropriately react. So Vmc Criteria. In Class G airspace, you've got 5 k's of visibility, 1,500 meters horizontally with cloud, and 1,000 feet above and below, above 3,000 feet. But below 3,000 feet, it's just clear of cloud. VFR Instruments requirements, so CAO, it's in the Civil Aviation Order 20.18. Make sure you've got for every VFR flight need one compass, one clock, and then you'll also need an airspeed indicator and an altimeter as well. And since we're doing airwork, we'll also need a thermometer and a turn coil. And what would you do if you entered cloud? So you would note the heading, you do a 180-degree turn, maintain height as well, and you'll do it at rate 1 as well. So competencies note and motor competencies for assessment, but a few things I'll be looking as per the Part 61 manual standards. So complete checks according to checklists, so follow that really thoroughly. Communication, so you're using the handing over, taking over method. Handing over / taking over method, so that's really important. But it'll be mostly U-flight. Plus minus 15 degrees heading and maintain, so instrument flight, so using that DI, and use a heading budget as well. So minus 200 feet altitude mentioned, so remember cloud altitude performance, so make it trimmed as well, and then plus or minus 10 knots indicated airspeed, so the climb reset. So MG, look out, ensure airspace clear before maneuvering, so ask the instructor, is it all clear? So because we've got the threat of risk of collision, the error will be a certain error, management technique will be instructed to look at, and then the design graph set will be air proximity event. So the error would be not asking your instructor, airspace is not cleared. So make sure you ask your instructor, are we clear? Before you maneuver. Listening watch, have a good listening watch for traffic in the training area. How do we end control? So using smooth control inputs in terms of maintenance cycle, doing your straight level T-scan and your radial scan and doing your V-scan. Since you can't do A-lap, checking outside or inside. So instructor to do A-lap and read the airspace. So thank you all so much for listening to the basic instrument flight pre-flight, and I'll see you in the next video.